Have you ever felt like being too open with your family sometimes creates more stress than support? As we grow older, there's often a desire to be fully transparent with those closest to us, believing that honesty is always the best policy. But the truth is, some things are better kept private, not out of secrecy, but out of wisdom. Not everything needs to be shared. In fact, keeping certain matters to yourself can protect your peace of mind, reinforce your independence, and even strengthen your relationships. In this video, we'll explore 5 things you may want to keep private after the age of 65. This isn't about pushing people away. It's about creating healthy boundaries and avoiding unnecessary stress. You might be surprised at how much clarity and peace can come from holding a few things close. Stay with me until the end, because understanding these 5 areas could shift the way you communicate with your family and give you more freedom in your later years. 1. Financial decisions and assets. Money is one of the most delicate topics as we age. You might think that being open about your finances will prevent confusion or conflict, but in many cases, it can have the opposite effect. Sharing every detail about your savings, investments, or future financial plans can invite unwanted advice, judgment, or even family tension. Different generations often have very different views on money. Even if your loved ones mean well, their concerns or suggestions can feel intrusive. In some situations, relatives who were once distant suddenly show heightened interest in your finances after learning what you have. It can create an uncomfortable dynamic. You've probably seen it happen. Someone shares their financial plans with family and ends up facing constant opinions. Maybe they're told they should sell their home, invest differently, or set more aside for grandkids. Even if the advice is meant to help, it can feel like pressure, especially if you're confident in your choices. And once that information is out, you can't take it back. It changes the way people see you and can even affect your sense of personal control. If your family starts to believe you're not handling money the right way, they might feel justified stepping in, sometimes with good intentions, but not always with full respect for your independence. You might hear comments like, "Are you sure you want to spend that much?" Or "Wouldn't it be better to give some of that away now?" And even if no one says anything directly, the feeling that your financial decisions are being watched can be uncomfortable. This doesn't mean you should never talk about money with your family. It's wise to have estate plans in place and to share essential information when the time is right. But you're not obligated to reveal everything. What you spend, what you save, or any new investments you've made, those are your choices. If keeping certain financial matters private helps you live with more peace and less pressure, that's not being secretive, it's being smart. 2. Minor health concerns that aren't urgent. As we age, it's natural to experience more health-related changes. And it can feel comforting to share those updates with family members who care. But there's a line between keeping them informed and overwhelming them with every little ache or discomfort. Not every symptom needs to be shared. Constantly discussing minor health issues can unintentionally create worry and stress for your loved ones. Worse, it can lead them to jump into action, offering unsolicited advice, pushing treatments, or even taking control of decisions that you're perfectly capable of making yourself. Maybe you've casually mentioned a sore joint or feeling tired, and suddenly your family is researching doctors, suggesting lifestyle changes, or asking, "Are you sure you're okay?" It often comes from love, but it can quickly turn into pressure. There's also a subtle psychological impact to sharing every health detail. Over time, your family may begin to see you more as someone in decline than someone managing life on your own terms. That shift in perception can affect the way they interact with you, perhaps treating you with more concern than necessary or underestimating your capabilities. That's not to say you should hide serious health issues. If something is truly important or requires their support, it's absolutely worth discussing. But when it comes to the small, manageable things, those typical aches and pains of aging, it might be better to keep them to yourself unless they worsen or impact your daily life. This helps you maintain your autonomy, avoid unnecessary anxiety for your loved ones, and keep the focus on what matters most. When you talk too openly about minor health issues, others may begin to see you as declining faster than you actually are. Even a simple comment about sore knees might cause family members to treat you differently, assuming you're more fragile or less capable than you feel. And once that perception sets in, it's hard to shift. Suddenly, they may stop inviting you to certain outings, question your ability to travel, or suggest you need help when all you did was casually mention some discomfort. While it's important to communicate serious health concerns, especially those that affect your daily life or require support, choosing to keep small issues to yourself isn't about hiding something. It's about preserving your independence. You have every right to manage your health privately without triggering worry or unsolicited advice. Sometimes, silence is the best way to stay in control of your well-being. If you're still here and finding this helpful, comment number 2 below to let me know you're with us. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's a great time. Turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Your support helps us keep creating content that matters. 3. Your honest thoughts on family conflicts. Family dynamics can get messy. And as we grow older, we often find ourselves caught in the middle of tensions we didn't ask for. Siblings disagreeing over money, adult children holding on to past resentments, or extended family members who just can't seem to get along. After a lifetime of watching patterns repeat, it's tempting to speak up and share exactly how you feel. You might want to help resolve things or give what feels like necessary advice, but more often than not, jumping in only makes things worse. Maybe you've been there, trying to mediate a disagreement only to have both sides turn on you, or offering your opinion, thinking it would help, only to find out later that it caused hurt feelings or was misunderstood. The truth is, most family conflicts tend to work themselves out, or not, regardless of what you say. And even when the dust settles, people often remember what was said in the heat of the moment. If you take sides or offer strong opinions, the resentment can linger far longer than the conflict itself. This is especially true when it comes to sensitive topics like someone's spouse, parenting style, or life choices. You may see it as honesty or concern, but they may experience it as criticism or judgment. And unfortunately, those kinds of comments can leave lasting scars. That's why one of the wisest choices you can make after 65 is to practice selective silence. You don't have to agree with everything. You don't have to pretend everything's fine. But you also don't have to speak on every issue. Instead of diving into the drama, try simple, neutral responses like, "I hope things work out for everyone. I know you'll figure out what's best." These statements allow you to remain supportive without taking on the emotional weight of conflicts that aren't yours to fix. Holding back your opinions can help preserve your peace and protect your relationships in the long run. 4. Your regrets about the past. As we grow older, it's only natural to reflect on the paths we've taken, on the choices made, the opportunities missed, and the what-ifs that linger in our minds. Everyone experiences regret in some form, but that doesn't mean those feelings always need to be shared, especially with family. You might feel tempted to open up about things you wish you'd done differently, how you handled your career, how you raised your kids, or moments in life where you feel you fell short. While this might feel like a way to be honest or open, it can sometimes do more harm than good. When parents or grandparents express regret, children often interpret it personally. A comment like, "I wish I hadn't worked so much," can be heard as, "I didn't value the time I had with you." Even if that's not your intention, regret can make your loved ones feel like they were part of the problem, or like they weren't enough. You might be reflecting. They might feel blamed. It's okay to process regret quietly or with a trusted friend, therapist, or journal. But when it comes to sharing those reflections with family, especially younger generations, it may be more helpful to focus on what you've learned, rather than what you wish you could undo. Framing your experiences with wisdom and grace allows you to pass along insight without unintentionally hurting those you love. When you talk about regrets, like wishing you'd spent less time working and more time with family, your children may not hear it as thoughtful reflection. Instead, they might take it personally, feeling like they weren't enough. If you mention a dream you never pursued, or a city you wish you'd moved to, it can sound like you're saying your life with them wasn't fulfilling, even if that's not what you meant. The same goes for relationships. Talking about a past love, even casually, can make your spouse or family feel like they were second best. Even memories of old friendships or missed opportunities can shift the way others perceive you. Instead of seeing the strong, resilient person you've always been, they may begin to view you as someone stuck in the past. That's why certain regrets are often best kept to yourself. It's completely normal to reflect on the choices you've made, but not every reflection needs to be spoken out loud, especially when it risks creating guilt or emotional distance for those you love. You can still process your feelings, learn from your past, and even share wisdom, but in ways that don't burden others with pain they don't need to carry. You can't change what's already happened, but you can choose how you move forward with grace. 5. The full details of your financial situation. Money is one of the most sensitive topics in any family. It can bring people together, but it can also cause tension, misunderstandings, and even lasting conflict. As you grow older, you might feel a stronger urge to share your financial situation, whether it's about your savings, your estate plans, or challenges you're facing. While there are certainly times when open communication makes sense, being too transparent about your finances can sometimes lead to unexpected consequences. One of the biggest risks is that it may change how your family treats you. If they know you're financially comfortable, some relatives may begin to expect help, or subtly drop hints about what they hope to inherit. On the other hand, if you're facing financial difficulties, they might worry excessively or start questioning your decisions, even if you're managing things just fine. In either case, money has the power to alter relationships, and once those dynamics shift, they're hard to reverse. Then a few kha'amin. There's also the matter of independence. The more your family knows about your finances, the more likely they are to offer advice, even when you haven't asked for it. In some cases, they may start making decisions for you, believing they're protecting you, but unintentionally undermining your autonomy. You might hear suggestions about where you should live, how you should spend, or what to do with your money, all because of details you shared in confidence. Of course, this doesn't mean you should hide everything. Having legal documents and a trusted executor or financial advisor is essential. But outside of that, it's wise to share only what's truly necessary. Keeping the rest to yourself helps you maintain control over your financial life and avoid the stress that can come from well-meaning but intrusive involvement. If you've ever seen how a single conversation about money can change a relationship, you understand why this level of privacy is important. In the end, your finances are yours to manage, and protecting that boundary helps ensure your relationships stay rooted in love and respect, not in financial expectations. Final thoughts. As we wrap up this video, take a moment to reflect on the 5 areas we've covered. Choosing to keep certain things private isn't about being secretive. It's about protecting your peace, your dignity, and your relationships. Not everything needs to be shared. And sometimes, wisdom means knowing what to hold back. Think about your own experiences. Have you ever shared something with family, only to regret it later? Or kept something to yourself and realized later that it was the right decision? The gift of aging is clarity, the understanding of what truly matters, your peace of mind, your independence, and the quality of your connections with the people you love. By being intentional about what you share, you preserve the strength of your relationships without sacrificing your own sense of self. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to apply it in your life. Your voice matters, and your reflections inspire us to keep creating content that helps others. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue providing thoughtful, helpful content for this community. Thanks for watching. We look forward to seeing you in the next one.